Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today we're not going to be doing a Cursed by Design, although a lot of you will probably consider this thing to be Cursed by Design because of, well, what's going on over in this corner. But today I wanted to go over the Girls Un Panzer tank, which I spent $50 on because I have no self-control, I guess, something along that line, or I'm a weeb. I'm sure you'll tell me in the comments down below. But regardless, I ended up picking up this tank, and it's only available until May 7th, I believe, is the date that you can buy this until. I have it pulled up on my second monitor, but it doesn't give me a date. You can buy it in 3 different packs. You can buy it with just the tank, essentially, a couple other things that nobody cares about, but you can buy it with just the tank for 15 bucks. You can get it with some credits and a couple other goodies for $35, or you can buy the ultimate package, which is what I ended up getting, which is $50, and you get like some styles and some extra missions and stuff. I don't know. I was just like, screw it, I need the credits anyways so that I could buy my way to one of the tanks I had just unlocked, so whatever, it's only money, I guess. I'm sure so many of you are cringing right now. But what are you getting for the price? Well, you're definitely not buying it for the tank because, I mean, it's a Panzer IV-H. It's not a terrible tank. It's really just average all across the board. I threw it in a comparison here, if it'll open, with the standard Panzer IV-H, and I tried to configure them to be exactly the same. I think I got it. And I'm not sure what's going on with the survivability here. There must be a soft stat or something I'm not seeing because they have the same other stats. But when you look down at the bottom here, this is the only actual difference between the two that I could find is the Panzer IV-H Anko, I don't know. The GUP Panzer IV has slightly less signal range because this one gets a better radio. I don't quite understand why, but I don't think that that's really going to make any sort of difference. Maybe it will. Maybe I could be wrong. I don't know. I don't think it's that big of a deal. But I picked out a couple replays for this. I couldn't get any Ace Tanker games. I'm just not that good at this game because I have not played it very much recently. But in all honesty, I don't think that showing Ace Tanker games is the best way to show you what you're going to get with this tank because it's just a very average tank. You really buy it for the crew, which, as long as they're not for some reason locked only to this vehicle, which, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think they are, I plan to throw them into my E50M once I unlock it, and just basically make every single Willbuh cringe and cry tears because I'm using an anime crew in their precious, precious German tank. Oh, it just gets me going to trigger people like that. So, yeah, that's kind of my plan with it, but pretty much don't expect stellar games in this thing. I mean, if you're a better player than I am, I'm sure you can get good games with this thing, but, I mean, I have some good games. It's just kind of average. You get a pretty decent game with it no matter what. I mean, you'll do bad a lot of the time. You're going to find that Artie really, really, really hates you in this thing. But enough talking here. I'll talk you through it while we're watching the couple replays that I got. Couple just short ones, and it'll kind of showcase the points that I'm trying to make about this tank. So without further ado, let's get into the first replay. Alright, and here we are on our first match. I think this one's called Hill. I do not know World of Tanks map names off the top of my head. But this is not a fantastic game. This is actually a pretty meh game. We don't win, but it very, very much shows the weaknesses of this tank, and a lot of you are just going to be saying, well, it's just a Panzer IV. Yeah, you're right, but it's a Panzer IV you can potentially spend $50 on, so screw it. We're just going to watch a couple games here. If you don't want to watch it, go watch another one of my videos. Not another channel's videos. Go watch, like, another Cursed by Design video or something. Speaking of which, stay tuned. There will be a new one of those on Friday. So be ready for that. And kind of what I'm doing here, this is probably not the best thing to be doing with this, but I'm just like, well, I'm going to pop up here, poke into these bushes, and I believe I spot someone moving across over here. And I've kind of found that this tank, it has decent spotting range with the equipment that I have. I have coated optics. Well, you saw it in the hangar. Coated optics, vents, and a rammer, I believe. I may need to switch one of those out, because I don't think it's the best equipment layout that I have. But it is what it is. So I'm able to get a hit on that guy running across, and then I get hit by the enemy Gup Panzer, so that's not too great. But I'm able to actually spot the ELC slithering through the center of the map here, and you'll probably see me do this a couple times in the different replays, where I try to switch to HE with this thing, and I honestly don't know why I do it. I'm just kind of like, I guess I didn't do it there, but a lot of times I'll try to do it, and I don't really know why. It's like I have this thought that I'm going to be able to pen with the HE, but this thing has like no pen with the HE. So, yeah, I don't really know why I do that, but whatever. It is what it is. I'm just trying to kind of peek these bushes here. And I think I actually got spotted by that Sherman here, and I wasn't really thinking it, but I'm kind of pushing up. I hit the ELC. Maybe I didn't get spotted by him, but I definitely get spotted here, and I ended up getting spanked by the Panzer IV over there again. And you can just hear the crew, which I'm sure so many people are just enraged by that crew, or just can't stand it. I honestly just don't even notice it half the time, but I quite like it. I really do like partnerships with games that do stuff like that, and I'm not just stuttering here. I'm trying to like stop a little bit to let you guys hear the voices a bit. But yeah, I quite enjoy partnerships like that. I own the Sabaton tank in this game, as well as the Offspring tank, which I actually have a video up on my channel, so I'll put a little card up in the corner, and I'll probably add that to the end screen at the end, so you can go check that out. But I just think it's a really cool way that you can kind of provide content that's different and unique to the game. And I can't believe I was hitting these shots here. That one of the biggest issues that this tank has that you'll notice, probably even with me shooting that T-34, is the gun dispersion is terrible on this gun. And yet I was able to hit those two shots on that guy moving. That last one hit right into his cupola, which is kind of nuts. But like I was saying, yeah, I really do enjoy the little partnerships that Wargaming does. Like, they've done a lot of stuff with, is it Azur Lane, or I think it's Azur Lane that they partnered with, not Concol. But they did that with World of Warships. And it's just something that I really feel like other games, War Thunder specifically, has really lacked on. They've done a couple, like they did one with Strike Witches, I think, at one point, but it was locked only to the Japanese regions, so it's just kind of like, yeah, that's cool for like the couple thousand people that play on that server, I care, or are from Japan that play War Thunder, however many it is. And there's the artillery. You're gonna really come to hate that, because I know that I have. And I was rambling a bit there, and I didn't really explain what was going on there, but yeah. I was trying to shoot the Stug that was making his way over to kill our arty, and I just got caught out. It was bad play by my part, but, you know, the artillery found me. So let's get to the next replay. Alright, and here we are on Mannerheim Line. I actually did remember the name to this one. This was a pretty decent game. It was kind of just a weird match in a lot of ways, but it turned out pretty well, aside from a misplay that I will point out that I did towards the end. But what was I trying to say before this? Oh yeah, about the partnerships. I think it's a really nice way that games can kind of, especially games that are, let's say, historically oriented, because both War Thunder and World of Tanks especially, have kind of shifted from that historical aspect almost completely at this point, especially World of Tanks. But I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. I personally don't have any issue with it. But the thing about tanks like this is, and the Sabaton tank and the Offspring tank, is that you can very easily have, and World of Tanks has this, where you can disable fictional things, so it only shows historical camos and stuff like that. So nobody is hearing the girls in Panzer voices that I have, I believe they'll just see a regular skin tank as well driving around. Maybe they see the GUP things, but honestly, it's just a couple decals. What's the big deal? So it's a very nice way where you can have the people that maybe don't particularly care that much about how historically accurate every single tank in the game is. They can have it just have a little bit more fun with the design and just kind of do what they want to do, and it doesn't impact the people that actually want that more historical aspect. I think it's a really nice compromise between the two. Although it really isn't a compromise because everybody gets what they want in the end. It's also a very nice way that the company can make a little bit more money off of really fairly mediocre tanks, because the Offspring tank, although I like it, same with the Sabaton tank, they're not bad vehicles, and the Panzer IV for the GUP Panzer, it's not bad. They're just average. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, maybe the other ones are exceptionally good in some way, but it's a nice way to, I mean, the worst way I can put it is, it's a nice way to put a large price tag on an average vehicle. But, I don't know, to me, I kind of like the fact that I can buy a tank, support the game, and I'm getting something that it's not overpowered, it's not broken, it's not just like so good that it's boring to play, it's just a cool little vehicle, and you get a nice crew that you can swap around into other vehicles. Like with the Offspring crew, I can have them with their custom voice lines, and the Sabaton crew. There's also, I completely forgot, they did Chuck Norris as part of the last Christmas event, and you can have Chuck Norris as your commander for your tank with custom voice lines. I need to get my T-30 so I can put him on that. But enough of me rambling. I'm sure you're probably getting bored. I've probably already lost most of you. But let's actually talk about what's going on in this game. So I'm trying to push up into these bushes now because I wanted to try to spot out and catch those tank destroyers over there like that Stug. And for some reason, one of their Panzer IVs decided that the spot he needed to be sitting was over there. But I'm able to actually hit that T-67. I think, yeah, I catch one into the Stug here. Maybe I catch a second? No, the dispersion says no. And this is kind of where my misplays start. I don't know if I was just off my game or just I'm bad at this game. Probably that I'm bad. I was just sitting in... this is really not the best way I could be sitting. I need to have my front armor angled, and I kind of got away with it because he was ignoring me, and then he pulls up and pops a shot into me. And you can see I kind of realized at this point, okay, let's get the front plate around, because this thing doesn't have much armor, but it does have decent frontal hull armor at 80 millimeters. It's by no means good, but it's enough. Another thing that you'll notice with this tank is its penetration on its standard rounds, not the greatest. Pretty sure that's the same with the standard Panzer IV. I mean, at tier 5 it's good enough, and once you load the gold, so to say, it's well more than enough for whatever you need to deal with. But when you're sniping KV-1s with a Panzer IV and having trouble penetrating when it slightly angles, it can get a little frustrating. With the standard Panzer IV, everybody just kind of runs the derp gun, so you don't run into this issue, but it is what it is. So I'm able to get the M10 here, which I knew I was going to take the shot there, but it was the end of the game. I'm like, whatever, I'll take it. And this is the biggest misplay I made. I sat here, side or rear on to the Stug, and gave him 2 shots into me. I should have remembered that Stug basically has the same exact gun that I have, just with more damage, at least reload-wise. He has, like, the same DPM with more damage. Same fire rate. There's the word I was thinking of. But, no, I just gave him my butt to shoot into multiple times. But it is what it is, and we're on 10 HP. So I was kind of taking a risk there. I wasn't sure if he had spotted me, but I figured, well, I gotta just run. And so I'm outside of effective spotting range. There's no way he's gonna see me at this point. So I'm sitting here and I just start shooting into the bush there. And it looked like the first one went in and the second one may have. And we'll see later once he reappears if we were actually able to do damage. And I just kind of blind fired into this bush, just costing myself thousands of credits spamming APCR, because for some reason the front of that Stug was proving difficult at range with the shells that I had. I don't know if that was just the angle I was at or something, but anyways, I start to push down this way. I want to get into that bush because it looked like that Stug was heading towards the base, which he doesn't really have many options at this point. So someone actually catches a glimpse of him, and he was, I believe, at around 260 health when he was last spotted, so we definitely did hit him at least twice, maybe 3 times, depending on the damage roll. But he is dead, and that is the end of the game. But, like I said, these were fairly short games, so I have one more for you guys, and then I will let you loose upon YouTube's recommendeds. Alright, and welcome to... I don't even think I'm going to try to pronounce this map's name. I think it's called just Poland in the replay system, even though that's definitely not the name. It has a baller song. I don't remember the name of it. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's a different map that I'm thinking of. But anyways, regardless of the map name, I am once again in the Gut Panzer, and this is an encounter battle, so I'm kind of just heading up. I didn't really know what I was going to do this match. We're not in the greatest matchup. We're up against some tier 6s, and trust me, this thing, when you're up against tier 6s or tier 7s, it sucks. But then again, any tier 5 is going to suck against a T29. So I'm trying to make my way up over to that other hill because you can kind of get into that little bit of a depression. And this match just went from like pretty standard to really weird really quick, and that's kind of the only reason that I'm showing it to you, because it's by no means a great game. I did decently. I think I got a decent amount of damage, but I believe we ended up losing this. So I'm actually able to pop up here and shoot right through that wall, and I catch 2 into the Valentine, and I started loading HE. That was kind of a mistake. I should have just had the standard rounds loaded, but I was hoping I could hit his superstructure and damage him. But, oh well, he gets away on a little bit of health. But at the very least, I mean, we got 3 good hits into him. So, I'm now trying to peek. I was hoping that Valentine would kind of creep out over here. But I believe that Valentine ends up giving us a lot of trouble later. Maybe it's a different Valentine. I think there were 2 on the enemy team. At least 2. Oh, it looks like there's 3, actually, if I'm looking at the outlines right. But anyways, I push up here and immediately spot those, and I kind of got a bit of a brown alert moment, so I'm like, okay, it's time to leave, thinking I'm going to get shot from the left, which I do. I catch 1 from the Valiant, but then we have the legendary Japanese stupid heavy, who just moseys right on by, followed by the Valentine and a Panzer IIIJ, all of which had shots at me, and then they get followed by a Matilda. I don't know if I was just invisible on the map, or if these guys were just, like, really bad, but then again, following yet again, VK3001H. It just going. Just go. Like, I'm definitely spotted right now. There is no way I'm not spotted, and he does see me. It's just like so many of them driving right down that road, just completely oblivious to me. And here goes the Panzer IIIJ. Like, I have to be spotted right now. I don't have sixth sense, but yeah, the Matilda starts shooting me, so I am 100% spotted here. And this is kind of where things hit the fan, but I'm trying to run. I used my repair kit there, which I think was the right thing to do because I needed to get my track back up. But kind of cruising here. The VK ends up getting a really good hit in and knocking my engine out. But this tank does have good DPM, so I'm actually able to out DPM him and get the kill. But unfortunately, this Matilda is completely behind the ridge using the super low velocity howitzer, which I have never seen someone use the howitzer on that thing before. So I guess he must just be trying to troll with it. But that fails for him pretty quickly, but he puts me out of my misery there. But yeah, that's about all that I can say about this tank. Let's hop back to the hangar and we'll take a final look at it. Well, I hope you guys did enjoy those couple of games there in the Panzer IV-H Enku. I am probably saying that wrong. I will now let you loose upon my comment section to call me a weeb and say I wasted my money and all of those things, because you are right, I am wrong, most likely. But I hope you did enjoy the video nonetheless. Sorry if it seems a little bit flustery and rushed. I haven't done a post-commentary or really a gaming video in quite some time, so I am a little bit rusty at it. And yeah, I just had a lot that I wanted to say, and I wasn't really, I don't know, I went into this without a script. So let me know if you guys enjoyed this. If you did enjoy this style of video, I have some other replays of World of Tanks I'm planning to be using over on my second channel, ConeOfArc. I'll leave a link to that in the description and at the end of this video. So I recommend you go over there and subscribe to that channel, because I don't really plan to be posting much in the way of gaming content on my main channel in the future. From time to time, I'll probably post one or two if it's something that I just kind of want to get out there. Like this video, I really wanted to just kind of get this out to as many people as I can. But in the future for other stuff, I'm probably just going to put that onto the side channel so that people don't get annoyed that I'm doing something different. Because I know that people tend to get very weird about not having the same exact type of content on your channel all the time. But thank you for bearing with me for the entirety of this video. If you did, please go check out some other of my World of Tanks videos if you haven't already, or go and watch the newest episode of Cursed by Design if you're watching this after Friday, which, spoiler alert, it will be on, let's see if I can find it, I was not prepared for this, will be on the WZ-122, so if you watched until the end, you know, and you can tell people that you know what the next episode of Cursed by Design is, and when they ask how to find out, you gotta say, oh well, guess you didn't watch till the end of the video. I'll see you guys on Friday.